Hello, hi everyone. Tonight I'm going to review a movie called Operation Final and it stars Oscar Isaac. And the main antagonist of this movie is Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley is one of the masterminds of the Jewish Holocaust during World War II, and he has fled to Argentina um, to start a new life, and he has given his son like his last name, but he to evade the authorities he pretends he is actually like his son's uncle, so that he has a different first and last name from his son. So Adolf Eichmann is the guy who engineered the Holocaust, and this person Ben Kingsley plays a different character that his uncle is kind of like portraying as in this movie, and somehow the Israelis kind of like understand that Adolf Eichmann is somehow alive, and uh, what do you call that? Adolf Eichmann is somewhat alive because like the marriage certificates of his uncles kind of like matches that of that same as the Adolf Eichmann. So the Israeli like Mossad members, a team is kind of like being formed, and it is like happening during the 150th anniversary of Argentina. So these Mossad members, they take on a flight and they go all the way to Argentina to capture Adolf Eichmann, and but not to murder him, but to bring him all the way back to Israel so that he can stand trial for the crimes that he has been accused of, and then be put to death once found guilty. So again, my last movie review was Bridge of Spies. This follows the list that I'm doing about like Western judicial system, where every single human being deserves the right to free trial, where they can say they are guilty or not. So Adolf Eichmann, when he is getting captured, he tries to negotiate with his captors by saying that he did everything humanly possible to send the Jewish people to some different country so that like he wouldn't implement the final solution. And in his own words, in his defense, he is just a person who is like uh, um, uh, soldier following orders, so that he is not responsible for the orders given to him by Hitler. So he is just someone who is an innocent victim who just thinks of defending his country according to himself. So but it goes around like how the human mind functions, where like the in order to save yourself from guilt, from saving yourself from embarrassment, some people create their own stories of like of them not being guilty. Some cases they even believe their own story, and this Adolf Eichmann, he creates all this like stories to make himself much more believable to his captors. But they finally see through it, and Oscar Isaac somehow manages to send this guy all the way back to Israel, where he stands trial for the crimes that he has been accused of. And he was then later on publicly not publicly executed, he executed, and then his ashes were kind of like thrown into the sea, into some random sea, so that like he will not become a martyr for the Nazis. But it goes to show, and somewhere in the movie you would see them like taking all their like corrupt ideologies to Argentina, where like they would program the youth to talk about anti-Semitism and like defend Argentina from the Jewish people according to themselves. So you would have like these kind of like violent individuals who behave this, who bring their violent ideology to any new country that they are going, because like because they kind of like, in order to save themselves from the guilt, they say they repeat the horror stories uh, that they created, and in their minds they still think they are the good guys and everyone else is actually the bad guys. So for this so it goes around how the human mind kind of like works. So if you're kind of like scam into doing something bad, a person like will not like admit it. So Mark Twain said, a famous quote like, it's easier to scam people than to convince someone that he's been scammed. So the Nazi ideology is something similar like in this regards. And finally, this was a very like jaw dropping and like nerve wracking movie where like you'll constantly thinking like, will Adolf Eichmann be put to trial or not, on will these people will these people get captured or not, or will Adolf Eichmann somehow manage to escape or not. And Ben Kingsley does a very incredible role of like performing this like Nazi collaborator and this Adolf Eichmann character. But that goes to show the versatility of like Ben Kingsley and the type of roles that he's willing to do. But like in all the movies, you kind of like see he portrays a similar role where he is the bad military person or bad governmental person who betrays innocent people. So I think like he created a niche for himself that he kind of like just repeats over and over again, but he is damn good at like repeating the roles that he is kind of like creating. So I think he has become the ultimate betrayal actor who betrays people, but like he has perfected his skills. So I'm not judging, he wants to do this type of roles, but he is actually very good at doing it, and I'm like really amazed by it. So the props, the key features of this movie are both Oscar Isaac and Ben Kingsley. Both of them did like very phenomenal roles in this kind of like movie, and they kind of like, I have not seen a movie where Oscar Isaacs ever did a very terrible movie. All his movies were kind of like really really good and really great, as I might say. So do definitely watch this movie. I believe it is a Netflix production, and it is one of the decent, somewhat decent spy thrillers I've seen in a while. Please do watch this movie.